to disperse. Your failure to disperse will be a violation of the walking ordinance 105-1. If you do not disperse immediately, you will be arrested.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to say hi and let you guys know that I was thinking about everybody, all of you guys that are my subscribers and people that watch my videos, and that I apologize for not being able to upload anything. I've been deciding what I was going to do for content and if I was going to be continuing Pandemic Americana the way it was, talking about COVID and the virus, and then George Floyd passed away and the protests started happening. So I've been trying to take that in and deal with that media and information and just trying to get out there and get some footage of my own. So I do apologize for not being consistent. I know that you guys are really getting into those videos. I'm just not really sure how to proceed and move forward. And so I guess today I'm going to talk a little bit about what I was doing. Today is June 6th and I was at a healing ceremony at our local Martin Luther King Park here in Buffalo, New York. And it was a wonderful event hosted by a classmate of mine, and it was really, really nice, and we had a really great time just showing our love and support together there. I do have some footage I wanted to share with you guys, and I'm not sure if I'm going to do a voiceover for those pieces. I do have other footage from other protests. This protest has happened and gone across the whole world at this point for Black Lives Matter because of the death of George Floyd and many other African American people killed by police brutality in America. I just know that I haven't addressed this personally on my channel, and I know this channel is very small. However, I did want to say something about it and address it personally because obviously as a Black woman, it's important. I wasn't able to go to the first protest that we had, and there's been a lot of things that's happened in a week, and it's just kind of getting out of hand here. In Buffalo, our police budget has been raised significantly to $519 million, and there's a lot of outrage with that. There's so much going on, and I don't know. I guess we'll see what occurs and what the future is going to be holding for all of us, and how this all starts to unfold, and what things and changes we can all do and create.
Give it up to Miles Carter.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Every time we start to speak, we always have to open up with the greetings of peace in Islam, because that's, as Muslims, that's what we stand for. Right, and I didn't come here to talk to you guys about Islam today because that's going to come later. What's happening right now is that we have to talk about Black lives because Black lives matter. Black lives are being destroyed. Black people are being hurt. Black people are being killed. Black people are being treated continuously less than humans. This has been going on since slavery ended and since before then. This isn't something new that we are dealing with today. Police didn't just start beating people on the streets today. Cops are just not putting their knees on people's necks until they die today. That's not happening today. That's been happening to our people for hundreds of years. For hundreds of years. The difference is that today when it happens, it goes on video camera. If I would have been tackled the way that I was tackled by the police, and it was not on video camera, there would not be an outcry of support. We wouldn't have raised $40,000 in 2 days to go towards the people that are being arrested illegally by the protests that are doing out here on the street. everybody keeps asking me what is the problem that black people need to start working to address for themselves, because police brutality is not our only problem. Police brutality is not our only problem. We have an issue with community, and we have an issue with unity. Our communities are broken, and we are not coming together as black people, fighting for the problems that we are facing. Look around you today. There are more white people out here fighting for your cause than there are black people. Why is there two different protests going on at the same time? Where is your unity as a people and as a community? That's what we're missing.
Your unity as a Muslim brother. I don't see no Muslims out
We got Muslims here. They're out here in the crowd too. There's one right over here. We got Muslims out here too. I'm talking about us. I'm gonna hold us accountable too.
Wanted to point out that, like, as you can see in some of the video here, a lot of the people did have masks on. A lot of the people are trying to still stick with the social distancing, kind of. Definitely not 6 feet apart, but we are still wearing masks. Right before this happened, we were able to open up and get to phase 2 for New York State. So that means that we were able to open up a few different stores and have people start getting back to work. And all of this decided to happen all at once. So it's really crazy that this did all happen during the time that phase 2 was going to happen. So now the big thing is people are worried and are waiting to see if everything is going to spike again from all the protests. There was a little bit of a spike, and people are trying to say that the protests have been the cause of the spike, but that spike was definitely from the Memorial Day weekend when the southern states opened up their states first and decided to start getting back to business. Before we get talking about the protests in Milwaukee, I just want to show you guys the rest of the event here in Buffalo, New York.
This right here, what's happening right now, is the church. And it is time for people to come together and stand up and say, all lives won't matter until Black lives matter.
We're out in the community giving out the school lunches. We do safe passage when the school is open to see that our children get home safe, because they also become victims of police brutality. So we're there to try to stop this police brutality. We step in, but we are not the police. If the situation escalates to the point where it's so the police need to be, we step back. But we come in and try to talk to our people so that they don't escalate, so that they don't get the knee put on their neck, so that they can live to see another day. So we invite you guys to come out with the peacemakers and join the Stop the Violence Coalition and help this movement that we may move forward as one. Thank you for your time. Be encouraged. Black Lives Matter.
Thank you. Hi. This is just a baby. I'm going to take you back a little further than her.
Yes, ma'am.
Back in the 90s, to the spirit of Loretta Redford. Her and Mary Moody started the organization called Concerned Citizens Against Police Brutality. We marched, we did caravans. We didn't have this type of participation. But anyways, during the course of our marching and caravans, I'm going to take you back to some of the names that we were marching for. And that was Donald Fleming's in custody. It was a Jerome Baton running away from the police, ended up dead trying to get over a fence. It was Mark Virginia, white young man whose father owned a business store in our neighborhood on Fillmore. It was a Richard Long, white man driving his cousin's expensive car. It was a Johnny Gamage in Philadelphia who was driving his football player's cousin expensive car. Ended up with 21 bullets in him. me see. It was many before this baby here surfaced. But it continues on, and we're hoping and praying that this will eventually stop. I have nephews, I have nieces, I have myself. I've been pulled over by the police. Fortunately, I was never abused. But I was pulled over unnecessarily. I was not breaking any laws or anything. And I thank you for the spirit. I pray for George Floyd's family. I pray for Garner's family, Brown's family, etc., etc. I don't have all of the names in my head. I'm a 77-year-old woman, and so therefore I'm blessed to be able to even be functional in my memory. But I'm out here in the struggle with y'all, and anything, they know that anything I can do. I used to walk, we used to walk door to door putting out flyers. We used to do a lot of mouth to mouth, word by mouth. We didn't have access to Facebooks and all the up-to-date electronics that you have, so we weren't getting the word out as quickly or as we needed. But like I said, y'all stay in the spirit, and in the spirit of my sister, Loretta Redford. Loretta would be so proud.
Are the protests and riots and rallies in the other states, and specifically Milwaukee is what I have footage of. You can see that a lot of people actually don't have their masks on. That, coupled with the tear gas, is definitely a way to have you be more susceptible to the COVID virus. And people have been trying to say that the police should be responsible if people get sick because of the tear gassing that they have been using against the people that have been in the streets. There was a curfew done for a little while, and that curfew was in a lot of states. At one point during last week, there was all 50 states did a protest, and I'm not sure if all 50 states had a curfew, but most states did have a curfew that people were not following. But I did just want to point out that people here, at least for this event that I did get to go to, they did at least have their masks on. The social distancing wasn't like really a thing, but people at least had their masks on, some people. It was a lot more than what I assumed it was going to be, so I was definitely pleasantly surprised with that.
Say these names loud and proud. I want y'all to say the names of Buffalonians who have died at the hands of the Buffalo police just as much, if not more, as y'all say these other names. I'll never, ever, 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 ever forget. In April of 2015, Freddie Gray was murdered by 6 Baltimore police officers. I remember watching it on CNN and seeing so many black women just out there protesting in the front lines. I was 16 years old, just a junior in high school. Ain't even have my driver's license yet. Ain't even have a job yet. Can I get it again? Say no justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Defund the police. Defund the police. Black lives matter. Black lives matter.
If you can tell that my lighting just got like really bright because the sun just came out and now I look like crazy. There's a lot of stuff going on. 2020 seems to be a very wild year, but I appreciate you all for watching my channel and tuning in whenever I do make content. Thank you for watching this week's episode of Pandemic Americana. Please tune in next week for the latest episode, and don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. Cheers.